Hi there, Crystal here from Big Sexy Chat. I wanted to talk with you all tonight about some oral sex tips for her, for people who love women, people who want to love on a woman, and who love making love to women. So that could be anybody and everybody, but just wanted to make sure that we all know this is for tips for giving oral sex to a person with a clitoris and a vagina and a vulva. So, oral sex for men, we'll do that another time. So, first of all, I want to say most women cannot come from penetrative sex. Most of us are going to need something to happen to our clitoris. And that's the true, even if you're having penetrative sex, you can always put one of these on her clitoris and you'll find that she's going to have a lot more fun through the penetration than without it because she's going to be able to have a climax while you're inside of her. And so that's a lot of fun to use for all kinds of different play. It's called a silver bullet. Super inexpensive, really affordable toy. I sell it on my website on Bliss Connection, but you can buy it anywhere and everywhere. It's like a $15 vibrator. It could do a lot of different things, make for a lot of fun. So I would think investing in one would be a great idea for everybody. I also want to say that at the beginning, before you're going to give oral sex to your partner, you probably should check in with her and find out what she likes and dislikes. It's not the sexiest thing maybe, but you can make it sexy. But ask her, what do you like? How do you like it? You know, I know you've had a lot of partners in your life or a couple partners in your life, and what do you like what they do? What's their favorite thing? Some women like, a little more pressure. Some women don't. Some people like a little more forcefulness. Some people don't. So just why not check in with her and ask her? Wouldn't you love that if she was going to give you an oral sex and she checked in with you? Now, what do you really like? Maybe you like ice on your testicles. Maybe you like nipple clamps on your labia. Just check in. It can't hurt, right? Communication is lubrication. And then the most important thing is you have to make sure that you start off by going slow. And I say slow, I mean slow. Tease everything out in the very beginning because we need blood flow to our clitoris and to our labia. And I just thought I'd show you a quick diagram of a vagina and a vulva and the clitoris and the G-spot. Just a little anatomy lesson from this company, Dame. And of course, that's the clitoris, the most important part. The purple entrance right there, that's the vaginal entrance. Inside of the vaginal entrance, there is a little thing called a G-spot, and there's also an A-spot. When you're giving her oral, she might enjoy the G-spot pressure. And then, of course, this is the vulva. Nobody wants to call it a vulva. Everybody calls this whole apparatus the vagina, but really the vagina is the part that's where you can penetrate it with your fingers, a penis or a toy or a strap-on. The rest of this is the vulva. The vulva is made of labia minora, labia majora, and then the clit's inside of there, and the vagina is inside of there. Hopefully you know all these things. I'm not really telling you anything new, but just so for the purpose of discussion, I want to make sure everybody's clear on all the parts I'm talking about. But like I said, you have to start by going really slow. I know it's exciting. You want to get all up in there, but slow is going to be better for her and for everybody involved because we need a lot of blood flow, lots of blood flow. The more blood flow there is, the more we lubricate, the more things swell up like our labia and our clitoris. So slow is very important. Show your enthusiasm. You can do that by making a compliment. You can show that by making love to her clitoris, making out with her clitoris very gently. When we feel your enthusiasm, we feel more relaxed, and we need that a little bit more. We need a little more of that relaxation for us to really enjoy oral sex. So make sure she knows how beautiful you think her vulva is or her clitoris is or whatever. Some women can have a clitoris as small as half of my pinky nail. And some women can have a clitoris as long as my pinky. So I know it can be difficult to find it, but it's fun to go exploring and check it out, right? And these are tips for making love to a fat woman or a slim woman, thick, thin, fat, all of us. We have the same anatomy. Fat bodies are capable of creating all kinds of pleasure. And so these tips are good for both types of vulvas and clitorises and vagina. Some people who are a woman of size, you might find a little more thickness in the labia, but everything else should be identical. There's no difference. And like I said, we can all have the same amount of pleasure. So we're going to show your enthusiasm. You're going to go nice and slow. You're going to relax her. And then you're going to give her a compliment. Something about her. You're so hot. You're such a beautiful woman. I love all of you. Whatever you want to say, something really nice. Be authentic, though. Don't make anything up. Don't just whatever you see, compliment it. Say, oh, it's filling up with blood. It looks so beautiful. It's getting all fluffy. Or I love how hard your clitoris is getting. Just something like that really gets us going because it just makes us feel like you're enjoying this process. It's not a job. It's not work. It's fun for both of you. Yeah, it's so much better if you think the person going down on you is enjoying themselves. I'm sure if you're a man, if you own a penis, you know what I'm talking about. It's so much more fun if you don't think the person is just doing a job. like a wifely duties or something stupid like that. So anyway, enthusiasm is everybody's favorite sexual technique. Now you might want to do a little bit of licking, and something I think a lot of women like are licking from the vaginal entrance all the way up to the clitoris. So you're kind of like doing long licks, or from top to bottom, from the clitoris down to the vaginal entrance. Just long and slow licks, like you're painting a porch, okay? And then as you get her a little more relaxed, then you're going to gently open her lips up with your fingers. You can do it like this, or you can do it like this, and just kind of, open them up, put your fingers in there, and just kind of pull it out a little bit. And that way you can kind of get in there and get to the clitoris. It's more accessible if you pull the lips back, especially if she's a person who has fuller labia. Open up her lips, and then you can use your finger around her clitoris, around her, they call it the clitoral legs. Around the clitoral legs, around the vaginal opening is where there's so many sensations there for us, because the clitoral legs start in our clitoris, and they're kind of like a highway system all over our vaginal entrance, all over our vaginal walls, all over our lips. And so that highway system of clitoral legs is all down there. So if you have it opened up and you're kind of touching around there, or you're licking around there, you're going to get all those little clitoral legs, which all excite her clitoris. It's so beautiful. It's amazing. The vagina and the vulva are just miraculous. Okay, another fun thing you can try is putting your hand gently on her pubic bone. A lot of people like that sort of gentle pushing. It feels really nice. Not always, but for the most part, it's a nice feeling. You feel kind of like secure. It feels warm. You feel you're being kind of like loved. You're being paid attention to. It's really nice. So a lot of people like the low hand on the lower pubic bone right above the vulva. So that's kind of a fun thing to try. And while you're doing that, you can even put your hand on her vulva top, and then use your thumb on her clitoris. Now, let's think about all the things that you like done when you're getting oral sex. Maybe like when she does a little bit of gentle sucking, or a little bit of nibbling, or a little bit of light teeth, or a little bit of hard teeth, scratchy teeth, soft, deep suction, light suction. All those things that you enjoy having her do or him do to your penis, do those to her vagina and her clitoris and her vulva. Just nibble it, use your teeth, use your tongue, even use your nose, suction on it really hard, suction on it very softly. All those things make us go a little crazy. Now it's time to possibly put 1 or 2 fingers inside of her vagina, and you can kind of just get them in there at first, just for that sense of fullness for her. And then you can try some things like trying to find her G-spot. So let's go ahead to number 9, finding the G-spot. So tip number 9 is, once you have your fingers in there, you have her warmed up. Now, some women don't like more than 1 finger. Some women like 2 fingers. So just find out what she seems to be most comfortable with. And maybe she even wants a third. But make sure you ask for consent and permission first. As you slide your fingers into her vagina, you're going to kind of curl your fingers up towards the anterior wall of her vagina, like near her belly button. And then you can kind of do what they call the come hither. Some women like it tapped on, and some women like pressure on it. To me, a G-spot feels kind of like a water chestnut. It's kind of wet, a little bit rough, but also smooth. It's interesting, but once you get the idea, get the hang of it, you can kind of find it pretty easily, because it's very distinct. And as she gets more and more excited, her G-spot will swell with blood, which makes it really exciting and easier to find. I'm telling you, y'all, the slower you go, the more you're going to get out of your partner, because it's going to get her so teased and so ready for everything, for the whole enchilada. Okay, so now number 9 is trying to find the G-spot and see what she likes on her G-spot. Some people like a lot of pressure. Some people don't like it at all. Some people have a G-spot toy they'll use on their G-spot. There's a million ways you can do it, but just see what she likes first. And then, and you don't do the same thing every time. You can mix it up. Every time you don't go down on her, you don't have to give her a G-spot. It's better if you mix it up a little bit, because sometimes the rote feeling of you're doing these certain things in a certain order can get a little bit, doesn't feel like you're as enthusiastic as you might be. Okay, so number 10 is hum into her vagina or into her clitoris. Like, a lot of vibrators have this kind of humming feeling. And so humming is like, feels really good into our vagina, into our labia, into our clitoris. So just put a little hum in there once in a while, or and see if she likes that. It's definitely a distinct feeling, and it's kind of nice. And it's not for every single time, but every once in a while, I would definitely try that out on her. Imagine when you're receiving oral sex, if you're a person with a penis, how good the humming feels. So, and also some people like to hear the slurping sounds. It's a big turn on for some people, so it's okay to make slurping sounds too. If you find out she doesn't like that, then just don't do that next time. So you're humming into her vagina, number 10. Number 9, you're finding her G-spot. Number 11, don't forget her butt. Now, you don't have to go there with your tongue if you don't want to. You can just go there with your fingers. And also, really good lubricant helps everything. You can use this for vaginal penetration. You can use this for a little anal play. It's called Eros or Pure Original Lubricant, PJUR, made in Germany. Those Germans make damn fine lubricant. This one is not really edible, but it won't hurt if it gets in your mouth. So it just makes everything super slick. It's silicone based, and it just makes everything feel wonderful. So it's really good for playing around the culo, around the anus. I hate that word, but around the butthole, because it doesn't have anything that's going to burn. There's no fragrance, no flavor, just really good, slimy, slippery lubricant. And then number 12, go back for seconds. That's the highest compliment, right? You're going to go right back in there. And if you feel very loved and very excited when someone wants to go down on you, even after you've had an orgasm, it's exciting for everybody. So just go back for seconds. I promise you'll never be disappointed. And last but not least, eat it like it's your last meal on earth. All right. Peace and love, y'all. Come check out my podcast, bigsexychat.com. And if you have any other tips, you can share it with us. We'll put it in our next podcast or our next YouTube channel video. All right, y'all. Have a good one. Good night.